That's not good. Yes, they did suffer a lot, engines like this, because they couldn't contain the temperatures involved. Oh dear. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to talk about German jets now. This is the HE 162, and it was a very early sort of German idea of a small jet engine aircraft. It looks really cool, actually. I did have the Airfix model when I was a boy. Of course, Whittle had already patented his idea for the jet engine, and the Germans had been looking into it, thinking that's interesting, like the look of that. And of course, they didn't give a shit about patents and copyright laws and things like that, and they had shitloads of money available for their research and development. One of the problems the Germans did have with the jet engine was that they didn't have the materials that would withstand the high temperatures. I noticed the 162 was very, very slow on acceleration. It didn't like it when you open the throttle. You had to do everything very, very slowly. It didn't like power changes, or they had the tendency for the engine to blow out, flame out. And obviously these engines were in their infancy, weren't they? They've become a lot more reliable, but these are very primitive early jet engines. Now the Germans did actually get an aircraft flying before the war. The first jet engine ever to become airborne, I think, was a Heinkel before the war started. I mean, that's how slow the British were to get off the mark. And I think it was only once their spies revealed that the Germans were actually making jet engines that they went, oh, who was that Whittle chap? Get him back in here. Give him more money. Because they could see, obviously, the Germans had an air force full of jet-powered aircraft, and we were still chugging around in Spitfires and stuff like that. We'd be annihilated. So they had to step up their game, didn't they? So it's a great shame that the Jerrys were ahead of us with coaxial flow compressors and things like that. But there we go. So I'm going to take this bird for a whiz today and see how it performs. I have had a few goes in it when I first got it. It's not free. It is payware version. But it is quite basic, and it's quite tricky to fly, actually, as I recall. It was a bit of a handful. And you can't open the throttle quickly, otherwise the engine explodes and bursts into flames. Germans also experimented with the rocket fuel. They had rocket fuel fighters that could take off and climb to enormous amounts of altitude and shoot down American bombers, and then they just ran out of fuel and they had to glide back to Earth. I'll be featuring one of those later, maybe not today, but certainly over the Christmas period. Give you an idea of that. It was a complete disaster, and I think the rocket fuel even leaked and melted one of the pilots, which was particularly nasty. Needless to say, they abandoned the rocket field fighter planes. Right, so we've got the metric system in Germany in the Second World War, so the airspeed indicator is in kilometres, which is confusing. The altimeter is in metres. But apart from that, it looks quite straightforward. So we'll get ourselves right up to the end of the runway, and then we'll take this little bird for a fly, and we'll find out what she'll do. Takeoff speed, stalling speed, all that. We'll try and come in and land. hopefully in one piece. But as you can see, the Germans were definitely on with jet-powered aircraft. They even had nose wheels and things, which made a tremendous difference to the pilot being able to see where he's going. And the days of the big tail wheel fighters were definitely numbered. You can actually see the nose wheel. Look, it's a castering nose wheel. You can actually see it through the window straight down. It's an interesting feature. Not seen that before. Okay, let's go. Let's go flying. Let's see what this thing can do. I'm going to increase the power slowly, not wanting to burst into flames. Damn castering nose wheels, I hate them, but they're better than tail wheels. Okay, speed's coming up, 100 kilometers an hour. That's about 60 miles an hour. Okay, I'm halfway to 200. I'm going to give it back pressure. No flaps at the moment. Full power. Whoa! What happened there? Oh. Maybe I should have used flaps. Okay, we're getting 300 kilometers an hour now. I have throttled back a little bit. I have to say it's a really cool looking aeroplane, but it's well, we'll see. I'll bring the power back a little bit. Okay, let's do a bit of a climb then, get some altitude up. Full power. Goes up alright. I think that's high enough, isn't it, really? Okay, let's see if I can trim that in. No, there's the trim lever there, look. Right. Let's do some general handling. Let's do some steep turns. So far, so good. Oh, of course, I didn't have angle of attack meters or anything like that, you see. And they got very short wings. To get a stall warner. Let's see how slow it goes then before it stalls. I'm very slowly reducing the power. I'm not doing it rapidly because they didn't like rapid temperature changes. Oh, right, okay. So we're stalling about 160 there. If indeed that is the stall one, and I think it is. Okay, good, 200. Let's do that again. Doesn't seem to like much less than 200. That's about 120 miles an hour. Okay, so we'll bring her in at 200. That seems reasonable. Okay. Came down quite quick, didn't it? Do a bit of low flying. Get a bit of handling. Okay, so we got 400 there. That's about 250 miles an hour. Speed comes right down in the turn. I'll increase the power, so I'll try and keep it above 300. Okay, we'll go back to the airfield and we'll see how our touch and goes. I don't know what happened on takeoff there. One of the wheels, the left main wheel, seemed to fail. So that could be a bit of an issue. Have we got any air brakes fitted? I don't think we have. No, nothing. Okay. Okay, we'll cross the ogin on the finger. Sink, I think that means going down, and what's that? Going up. Fingers in the way there. Put the nose down a bit. Read the dial. Stieg. Okay, so I'm going to bring her in at 200. Let's have some wheels. Let's have some flaps. I'll have one stage, 2 stages, back on the power. Okay, I think what I'm getting to do is do a nice long approach. Don't want to do any tight turns. Okay, I'm going to do an orbit to the left, then come back and try and attempt a touch and go. I've actually got the nose wheel between my legs so you can see the tyre, the little window. Right, okay, I'm going to bring it round now, but I'm not going to reduce the power because I don't want to go slower than 200 kilometers an hour. So I'm not going to reduce the power until I'm ready. I think I'll start reducing it now. Let's have some wheels. You can actually see the wheel going down. Look. Okay. One stage of flaps. I'm just going to bring it in with one stage at the moment. That might be a better plan. Don't let it drop below 200. Easing the power in. All looking good so far. Raise the nose, reduce the power. Not completely though, we're on the wheels. Nose wheel is not down. It is now. Okay, increase the power slowly. Not too quickly. Otherwise the engine will explode into flames. .200 knots, back pressure, gear up, flaps up. .300 knots. Actually, no, I'll go the other way. I'll go the other way. Do a left-hand circuit and start bringing the power back. Feel like a test pilot. Test pilot to the people who write the book on the aeroplane because they found out the hard way. Or they died. Okay, we got 400 knots. We're downwind. Need to trim. Okay, wheels in transit. Throttle down. Aircraft should be slowing. Yes, it is 300 kilometers an hour. Flaps one stage. We'll come in at that. Start to creep the power back up. Don't want it to drop below 200. That's good. I take it the gears down. You can see the nose wheels down. Increasing the power because we're too low now. Used a lot of runway floating that. That's not good. Okay, I'd be switching the fuel off. Oh dear. Well, I think I'll call it a day there.